Hey there, and welcome to my first video about sea monster hunting. More like my own experience having my own boat and going out there to do sea monster hunting to learn how the entire process works. Basically, this is my first 7 hours with what I learned in that time, what I got as drops. I'm going to give you some money per hour value, even though for the most part it was unoptimized hunting, just learning the ropes. And let's talk about that. So a couple of, let's say 1 or 2 weeks ago, something like that, I got enough Hekarus seals to get an Hekarus sailboat, so that's what boat I have. And I didn't know what gear I should have to even try out sea monster hunting, so I just went all out and bought from the Velia raft manager a full set of green gear. I enhanced it all up to +6. It was quite expensive, I believe 150 million. Repairing the green gear costs 4 to 5 millions per each piece, so I didn't exactly know what I was doing. I wasn't concerned about money, so I just made a full set of +6 gear. I wanted to be as prepared as I can be, but now I can tell you that you will replace this gear slowly within the next few weeks. So I would probably advise you, if you are new to this, just make the green cannon to +6 for AP, and the other pieces, I don't know, enhance them as far as you can until you hit the 20 durability mark, and then don't repair the gear. You can go out and hunt with 20 durability equipment for maybe 1 or 2 hours, or I don't know how much, so you don't even need to repair it. Just simply enhance the other pieces until you hit the 20 durability mark and leave it like that, because it's too expensive to repair and you will replace it with blue gear in the near future. Also, why +6? Because once you hit +6, the gear has a chance to downgrade, so enhancing it further is pretty much a waste of money. Now, going past the gear part, I guess now I can talk about what I did when I actually went out to do sea monster hunting. So my first trip, I would say it was around 3 hours, I'm not sure, because at this point I wasn't exactly trying to get any data for a video. I only have one screenshot, out of which I remember it was around 3 hours that I was out there. If you look on the inventory, I got about 521 Nadens, or however they are named, the blue guild drop item, and 159 Hekarus spikes. It was pretty much unoptimized, so you can expect to make more than this, but that's what I made in that time. I'm not going to use this data, these 3 hours, because I was just simply learning how to ram the monsters, where they spawn in the first place, which I didn't know, and basically the entire process. I'm just going to assume that you are somewhat new to the sea monster hunting thing, so how ramming works, at first I didn't know. It's just simply a box in front of the ship, so I was asking myself why the monsters are taking no damage when they are inside my ship and stuff like that. So how ramming works is you press Q once to start charging, and then you can press Q again a second time to stop the charge animation before it runs its full course, its full distance. Basically you do that to aim it better, and the damage only happens at the tip of the boat, in front of the boat. So that's what you have to aim towards the monster, and you have to make sure the monster remains on front of the ship after the charge animation is done. So that's how you do damage. Honestly, it took me a couple of tries to learn this. The first Hekarus that I hunted, I lost more than 50% of my boat HP because I didn't know why they take no damage. Also, my boat was moving very slowly, it was turning very slowly, going backwards way more than I meant to. I learned recently that it's just because I had no sailing level, and without the sailing leveled up, you don't have access to the good boat skills. Anyway, that's how ramming works. You just have to aim it towards the monster, press Q to charge, and when you stop the charge animation, just make sure the monster remains on front of the ship. This way it's actually pretty easy to land back attacks on Hekarus, so just another thing to throw out there. Where should you be hunting? I would say the area between Lemma Island and the Pirate Island. Basically on the north side of the map. I usually go from Velia and pass through the area in between Lemma Island and Pirate Island. Somewhere there you can find the Hekarus. I only hunted Hekarus for these first 7 hours because that's what I knew I can hunt. I didn't explore it any further, but I will for future videos if I talk about this topic anymore, which I think I will. Anyway, what did I get? Let me go past the first 3 hours, which are pretty useless. After learning how to do ramming, how to do the sea monster hunting thing, I did a couple of different runs. The first one is 1 hour, after which I spent 20 minutes going to repair, another 50 minutes after that, 15 minutes to repair, 1 hour of sea monster hunting, 6 minutes to repair, probably more, but that's what the screenshot says, and another one last hour. So a total of about 4 hours more spent doing sea monster hunting and accumulated maybe 1 hour doing repairs. I learned that it's very important to have the 50% stamina recovery crystals, the ones that you make by doing some underwater gathering to get lobsters, and you transform those into glue and you then craft the 50% recovery breezy crystals, because without those you're going to be spending, like I did, maybe 20 minutes per each repair cycle, going either to Lemma Island or to Pirate Island. I didn't have a compass for these 7 hours, so I would just simply go towards whichever one was closest. I would start sailing south, and once I had a vision on the map, I would choose either Pirate Island or Lemma Island to repair my boat. And 20 minutes is actually quite long, considering that my boat runs out of power after maybe 40 minutes to 1 hour, depending on how much I ram and stuff like that. So having those 50% recovery crystals is definitely important, and now I know that. In any case, with the 1 hour of downtime and the 4 hours of actual sea monster hunting, adding up all of the loot, I'm going to exclude the green ones. I did hunt a couple of young monsters every now and then. For example, I would start sailing, I would maybe sail for 5 minutes, I would not see a single Hekaru, I would encounter a young one and I would just kill it to feel like I'm making some use of that time. But for this, you probably know that the young monsters give you green drops, and those are personal drops, not guild drops. So I'm going to exclude them from this loot table. Now, should I really give a money per hour value and stuff like that? I believe I shouldn't, because it's just my experience with unoptimized sea monster hunting. But if you want to know what you may expect as a new player trying out sea monster hunting with just green gear and an Etheria sailboat, I can say that out of the 4 hours, in terms of just raw value, just the items, I got 105 million silver without the gold drop and 205 million silver with the gold drop. And about that, I got the gold drop in the first 1 hour that I did after the 3 useless ones that I excluded. So pretty nice actually, getting a gold drop in the first hour, it was pretty lucky. And then after that I didn't get a single other drop, including the 3 useless hours, or about 3 useless hours, so the 7 hours spent in total, I only have 1 single gold drop. So I'm not sure what is the drop rate for those, or if I got lucky or bad luck. Basically you can say I got 1 gold drop in 6 to 7 hours, something like that, even though it was fairly unoptimized sea monster hunting. In any case, if I were to make some money per hour value, it would be 26 millions per hour without the gold drop, 51 million per hour with with the gold drop without including all of the downtime. With the downtime it's of course lower, 21 million and 41, so meh, it's okay I suppose. This is just simply a raw silver value. This all goes into the guild storage, so it's not personal money, and from here it matters a lot what each guild pays their members, what is the return. I'm not going to mention what is our guilds because I don't know if my guilds want me to, but I would assume most guilds pay you back between 60 and 80% maybe of what you make. So out of those 105 million silver, I would expect to make back as payout the 60 to 80% maybe. Let me know in the comments how much does your guild pay you back for sea monster hunting. I mean, what is the ratio? Whichever the value is, this is what I got from my unoptimized hunting. I would say for just simply having green gear, getting those 26 millions per hour without even including the few green drops that I had or the yellow 100 million item is quite decent. Of course, getting blue cannons and overall blue gear, or maybe a frigate, not an Etheria sailboat, would yield me more income, and optimizing how I hunt the monsters will of course get better and better over time. So what did I learn out of this process? Sea monster hunting is a pretty relaxing way to spend my time. I don't have to keep a grinding spot occupied. I can go AFK in the middle of the sea, since my grinding character is different from the sea monster hunting one. I did make the mistake to make my main life skill character the main sea monster hunting one. I should have just simply picked an alt, say a level 49 alt, and level sailing on that one, so I can just simply leave the alt in the middle of the ocean while my ranger is back in Calfian chopping wood or fishing. That would have been the better choice, but still, it's a relaxing way to spend my time. Those 26 millions per hour, of course, they are going to fluctuate a lot depending on what monsters I hunt, you know what I mean. It seems like an interesting or decent entry value. Probably you are going to get 15 millions per hour from the payout back. I don't know. There is, of course, at least on my guild, it's a cap on how much I can get per week from sea monster hunting, but that's besides the point. I now know how to do ramming properly. I started crafting the 50% stamina recovery breezy crystals in Port Etheria, so those two things should make me get better values in the future. Also, not to mention that I have currently, in the time between getting the data and actually making this video, now I have blue cannons on my ship, so I'm going to do a follow-up to this video, I don't know, in the coming weeks whenever I do more sea monster hunting, and see what my current +6 blue cannon, having the 50% recovery crystals and knowing a proper rotation or area for Hekarus can give me in terms of results compared to this video. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I hope I gave you some insights on sea monster hunting. If you already are an expert on sea monster hunting, I would love to hear your thoughts about this. Just leave a comment, let me know maybe how much money you make per hour from sea monster hunting, what is your drop rate for gold items, what monsters you grind. That I would actually like to know, because I only know how to grind or hunt Hekarus. I tried ocean stalkers around the Etheria port area, but I didn't find them that useful because they deal more damage to the ship and they don't really take back attack damage that much, so they die slower. And besides Hekarus and ocean stalkers, I didn't try any other monsters. So I would like to know, what is your drop rate, what monsters you hunt, how much your guild pays you back in terms of ratio, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I will see you in a different video. Until then, stay happy and bye bye.